You decide 2012, well, it's over now, but more than 100 campaign events over the last year and a half. One college student's been on the road for a long time covering those events. Luke Vargas. We've been talking to him since the beginning. He joins us live on the phone now from Boston with a post-election wrap. Okay, Luke, are you relieved or exhausted or both?
Both, and in 90 minutes I'm getting on a train to head back to school, so not even enough ability to rest after this very, very long campaign.
Wow. Now, I know you spent Election Day. We talked yesterday morning at Romney headquarters in Boston, and last night, at any point, did the Romney camp think we've got this?
I don't think so. In fact, it really seemed clear pretty early in the night that they thought something was going wrong. They really took over this whole very, very large and fancy convention center downtown, and for most of the evening there were security guards and staffers posted at every door, sort of taking care of all the press and asking them if everything was okay. And then at around 10:30 last night, everyone started disappearing. No one was checking your ID as you moved from place to place, and as the results in Massachusetts started to come in for some of the statewide races and the Republicans were faring pretty badly, they turned the television screens off that were showing those results to people inside the ballroom in Massachusetts, and they switched to playing a very flattering biographical video of Mitt Romney that they played at the conventions. And after that point, it was only about 15 minutes until the election was ultimately called for Romney. So things wound down pretty quickly and severely last night.
Yeah, were you surprised that he didn't win his own state? I mean, he was once governor of Massachusetts, didn't win the state.
Yeah, he didn't really win any of his home states that he's sort of tied himself to. New Hampshire included, Michigan also struggling. Yeah, it's I think disappointing for him. And he went back and slept in Belmont, Massachusetts last night, which is only about 2 miles from where I am right now. And that's a town that voted. They didn't even want to vote for him. They only supported him at about a total of 33%. So Mitt Romney couldn't get it done in any of his backyards.
Yeah. Do you think he'll try again in 4 years, or do you think he's done?
I think he's ready to be done, and no one would give him another shot, even if he wanted to.
Wow. It's been a long time on the road. Any closing observations on the race or long-term implications for the parties? Anything like that, Luke?
I think the Republican Party does some soul-searching. We were covering the Tennessee primary so many months ago, and at that point there were a ton of Republicans still fighting. And before that, before any of the polling really started, there were so many different types of Republicans, it seemed, in the Republican Party. And I think history, when this thing is finally said and done, might favor a story about this election in which some of those lesser-known candidates are emphasized. People like John Huntsman, the role of people like Chris Christie in the Republican Party. They were cast out pretty early this time. They might be emphasized in the future. And Democrats really solidified their advantage. They showed that urban voters in Florida, Ohio, Virginia, Pennsylvania, even though there was sort of an insurrection, if you will, in the countryside, voters in those urban areas were really able to hold it off and come very hard for the president at the end.
I think a lot of us will be watching Chris Christie to see what he does. He certainly seems to be a rising star in the party. Luke?
I think so. He's a good person to tie hopes to.
Yeah. Good luck back in school. It's going to be hard to kind of buckle down and, do exams and all that, but we wish the best to you and keep in touch.
I will, Val. Thanks so much.
All right, Luke Vargas reporting for us live from Boston. We'll be right back.